Sugarhill, Keem before they were famous, Demon of
Keem is the
Harlem
latest
drill.
New York City rapper to establish himself as a force to be reckoned
feel
with
like
when it
5
comes
times?
to the drill music scene. This
Oh, damn,
talented
bro.
artist who oftentimes operates under the moniker of Mr. Move Look only started rapping at the tail end of 2021, but he somehow managed to produce over a dozen hit tracks, many of which have seen their view counts climb all the way into the 7-digit range, despite his overall lack of experience. But I mean, hey, when you associate yourself with growing up on the hard knock streets of Sugarhill, Harlem, no one's gonna question your authenticity. And Keem, well, him and his twin brother definitely had it tough. So how did he manage to transform himself in just a year's time into one of the most promising artists in the genre? Well, you're about to find out that and a whole lot more on our
was
latest
just that
edition
guy,
of
pal.
Before They Were Famous. But before we get into all those details, please remember to like. Without further ado, let's get right into Harlem, New York City.
Keem was just that guy,
Sugarhill
pal.
Keem was born Rakeem McMillan in Harlem, New York City sometime in 2002. Outside of being raised on the dangerous streets of Sugarhill, not a whole lot else is known about his years spent prior to his ascension to the public spotlight in 2021. But I was able to uncover one story about his past that appeared in an edition of the New York Post.
Yeah, that's in Harlem, you heard? That's a dangerous hood, you heard? Like, don't want to go there. We them, you feel me? Like, we top ops, we do
As it turns out, Keem grew up alongside a twin brother named Raquan, and in the summer of 2018,
Rakeem and
he and his
Raquan.
bro were 16 years old when they found themselves face to face with police. Something that kind of happens with black people a lot. I don't know if you're going to include that, but they won't like that. At the time, 4 NYPD officers were investigating an altercation taking place in Keem and Raquan's apartment building on Westchester Avenue. With these two being less than enthused to find local authorities invading their own personal space, I mean, who wouldn't, the brothers recorded themselves on video hurling obscenities at the police. Then, when finished, they uploaded the clip to social media where it quickly went viral. The video has been scrubbed clean of the internet, but reportedly consisted of 2 minutes of these two demeaning and insulting the police officers before instructing them to, quote, "Get the f*** out of my building." When this initial outburst failed to get the desired reaction, the boys switched up their tactics by making things a little bit more personal and coming up with inventive ways to say things about the officers' mothers.
I feel sorry for your mother.
What you say about my mama?
Now, I'm not going to repeat exactly what they said here, but something tells me that y'all can,
Dude, what do you
use your
think?
imagination. Eventually, the officers left, and the boys kindly waved goodbye to them with the help of their middle fingers. I like how
Kindly waved
eloquently that
goodbye.
was put. You waved at them with your middle fingers. Appreciate that, Sean. At that point, Rakeem and his brother figured out that they've gotten away with a wee bit of teenage rebellion. But after posting the video, it turns out that things weren't quite as over as they thought they were. Only a day or two later, Rakeem was arrested at 2:30 in the morning for a reported strong-arm robbery that involved the theft of a scooter. Police would then arrest his twin brother right around the same
Both of
time
them?
for a totally unrelated robbery, one that New York Post sources were unable to determine the root cause of. Now, I don't know about you guys, but those robbery charges don't particularly pass the smell test with me. I'm not saying Rakeem did not steal a scooter at 16 years old, but I'm not saying he did either. Just pointing out the fact that it sounds like this was a simple case of retribution on the NYPD's part, especially considering the charges that his brother was hit with.
Yo,
But
Giannis.
that story should give you a taste of Rakeem's upbringing while also encapsulating how difficult it was for him to grow up in Harlem. It's also,
My
by
dad,
all
Lord name.
accounts, the type of lifestyle that
Lord name
Keem
is
would
crazy.
continue to live, right up until he suddenly found himself becoming a rising star in the New York drill scene. Prior to 2021, Sugarhill Keem was in no way a musician. In fact, he literally never even picked up a mic until the fall of 2021.
How long have you been rapping for?
The
First and
best
foremost?
fall of everybody's
5
lives.
months.
So just 4 or 5 months. So you fresh in this. So for you, how does it feel to be so early in this game, but still have like all this attention on you right now?
I started rapping like 4 or 5 months ago for me. So a lot of people never did this. Did, you feel me? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm really in the streets.
Having spent his entire life in the streets, Keem had absolutely no expectations that a career in music would take him anywhere. And it wasn't even something he was considering trying until he met the Bronx rapper Sha E.K.,
Sha.E.K..
who invited him into the recording booth for the first
Charlatan.
time. Prior to that, Keem and drill rapper E.Baby had grown up around one another in the same neighborhood and were close associates for a long time. But it wasn't until Keem was spending time in lockup, whether for the crime I spoke about earlier or something else unrelated,
yeah, I heard,
I'm
bro.
unsure that
Rest in
he
peace,
met
man.
Sha.E.K. and began envisioning a different life for himself. After striking up a quick rapport with one another, these two would team up for the underground track Brothers that dropped in September of 2021. A few months later, the two of them then teamed up with E.Baby to drop Keem's biggest hit to date, Touch the Ground. From there, Keem would knock off a bunch of solo tracks, all of which were able to capitalize on these early appearances alongside more established names to generate millions and millions of views for damn near each and every new song. I'm talking tracks like Don't Trip, Everybody Shot, and Flock at the Flockas. Everybody shot, eh? Not just a couple people, everybody got shot. I like the name of that song. That's tough. I'm not, you know, not from there. Just don't be confused if you ever hear Keem referring to himself as Mr. Move Look, because not only is that his Instagram handle, it's a nickname that he's more than happy to go by. Besides, with the amount of music he's been putting out lately, this dude may actually need 2 names just to get credit for it all. After establishing himself with the help of other artists from his own hood, Sugarhill Keem began working overtime in 2022. Releasing a plethora of new music, including Can't Wait, Evil Twins, WTF, Sexy and I Know It. That last track would drop in May of 2022, the same month that Keem hit his latest roadblock when he was arrested by police for reasons that are still unclear, and then shipped off to Rikers Island, according to a Facebook post from his mother. And in Rikers Island for like unclear reasons is crazy. Going by the rumors on social media, it sounds like Keem's arrest was a finishing expedition by police, and probably
Let's talk about this outfit. This outfit is crazy.
Probably had something to do with the city's
when I see Eric Allen, I'm knocking his dreads off, nigga.
recent crackdown on drill artists and their perceived tendency to glamorize gang violence. What's his name? Eric Adams, the mayor of New York?
The mayor.
I think it's his doing.
And like, how do you plan to stay, I guess, out of trouble this summer?
Stay out the way, you heard? That's it.
And drop and post and all the videos and stuff like that.
That's it.
Now, as for when Keem may find himself a free man once again, well, it's a little too early to tell, but hopefully some clarification on the situation will be provided in the near future, especially since according to Keem,
if I have $1,845 and I spend, you would have $1,245, buddy.
himself, he's heavily invested in the rap game for one reason and one reason only, to eventually get himself out the hood.
But where do you see yourself by the end of this year?
I see myself in the mansion, bro. You feel me?
Free
In
move,
the
man.
mansion, bro. Trying to get my family out the hood.
Unfortunately, that
Move Look
isn't
hoodie.
something he's going to be able to do from a prison cell. Will Sugarhill Keem eventually be able to
Free
find
Keem,
himself
man.
a free man once again? And will he be able to pick up where he left off with his upwards trajectory? Well,
Free
we're just going to have
Keem,
to wait
man.
and
Free
see.
Keem, man.
I mean,
Free
after all, this
Keem,
is
man.
before they were famous. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to make sure you never miss a new episode. All that good stuff. And if you'd like to check out a few other come-ups, then be sure to look for our recent looks into the stories of Trap Boy Freddy, C Blue, and Set the Trend. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.
Peace. No peace?
In such a condensed space, doing